So our first case study today involves Earthwatch and Shell, and to present that case study we have Ben, Sabunga and Deric from Earthwatch, Environment, South Africa and Shell. So please welcome the three speakers to the stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Ben, I work for Earthwatch. For those of you who don't know Earthwatch, we're an environmental NGO and we work to engage people worldwide in field research and education that's focused on developing the understanding and the action necessary for a sustainable environment. So we've been working for over 40 years now, and for the past couple of decades, just over, one of our key focus areas has been around engaging companies through strategic partnerships that help to drive the corporate sustainability agenda. And I'm here today to give a little snapshot of one of those partnerships that we think presents a really interesting and innovative approach to protected area capacity development, but also developing sustainable leadership within businesses. So the program is called the Earth Skills Network. It's a partnership between Earthwatch, the business community, and it's also supported by UNESCO and by IUCN. And the idea behind the Earth Skills Network is that it connects senior staff from within business and within protected area organisations through skills sharing and mentoring with a particular focus on business planning and organisational management. Now, there's been a huge amount of focus within this stream and within the Congress around the importance of not only protecting a greater area of land through protected areas, but also focusing on management effectiveness, so ensuring that protected areas can deliver high quality conservation. Part of ensuring that is making sure that protected areas have a strong organisational foundation from which to plan conservation. And this involves effective planning, it involves efficient management of human and financial resources. So business planning is really key to this. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that it forms a big part of traditional training programs for protected area management. But if you look to the business sector, they put a huge amount of resource into developing effective training around business planning, and they also have a wealth of staff who are very experienced in this area. So that's the resource that we're seeking to tap into through the Earth Skills Network. I seem to have lost. Right, we're back in business. So I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of how the Earth Skills Network works. And I'm also delighted that I'm joined by Deric from Shell. Shell have played a really key role in developing this model and the business planning toolkit that supports it, and also investing in it through the time of their staff. And we're also joined by Bonga, who works for the Department of Environmental Affairs South Africa, who was part of the training this year and is going to talk a little bit about his experiences and some of the value that brings to his organisation. But first, just to touch on how Earthwatch deliver the programme. So, Earthwatch work with business partners to identify senior leaders who have the requisite business skills and organisational experience and the capacity to act as effective mentors and coaches to a protected area organisation. We also work through the UNESCO and the IUCN networks on the ground to identify protected areas where a lack of business planning experience has been identified as a critical constraint. So we're after sites where a lack of organisational management skills has been flagged as something that's preventing them from managing their resources effectively. Once we've identified our mentors and our sites, mentors are essentially partnered with a particular site based on the kind of skills that they have and the kind of needs that have been identified at that protected area organisation. And then mentors go through a week-long, very intensive training program that focuses on developing their skills as a mentor, but also on helping them to tune into the protected area context within which they're going to apply some of their business thinking. Now, once they're trained, there's then a a 10-day residential program that brings together the protected area organisation and the mentor, and this really focuses on key two elements. Firstly, it's set within an inspirational natural setting that also has a relevant protected area context. So it helps the sites and the mentors to tune into the kind of issues that they're going to be working on together. And it also has two main components. The first is a business planning toolkit, so a suite of different strategic tools and very practical tools that the mentors can draw from to help the particular protected area organisations address some of their challenges, and you can see that sort of centrally. So based around initially doing an institutional analysis, so identifying where are you as a protected area organisation at the moment, and then thinking about a range of different important steps that can help you to achieve your organisational objectives. Wrapped around this, and crucially, is the softer skills, so the less tangible skills, the management and leadership skills that allow the protected area representatives to go back within their organisation and to really influence change and to be agents for change when they get back to work. So following the residential training programme, mentors and the protected area organisations work for at least 12 months together, focusing on the specific plans that they develop during the residential course that will help to enhance the organisational management of that site. So through this, we're able to develop a network of business leaders and leaders from protected area organisations who are working in partnership to help solve some of the really difficult challenges that these organisations face. So as well as this transfer of skills to the protected area, it's really important to point out that actually this is a two-way exchange. We know that we need to have business leaders that understand the value of protected areas, that understand the challenges that they face. And this program really uses the skills transfer as a dialogue builder, as a way of opening lines of communication between businesses and protected areas, and as a way of helping business leaders to understand the natural assets that are within protected areas and how these deliver value to communities and value to businesses, and what the potential conflict can be with business. So where are we? Where are we working? Well, we've been running this program for 6 years now. We're in our 6th year, and we've now engaged with just under 100 of protected area representatives from 33 different protected area organisations in Africa and Asia. And you can see the red stars on the map are the training centres where we've been delivering the residential component of the course in Borneo, in Kenya, and in South Africa. So before I hand over to Deric and to Siyabonga just to talk a little bit about their involvement with the programme, I just want to play a short video that will hopefully bring the programme to life a little bit. And this was taken on one of the 10-day residential training programmes that I was talking about.
Protected areas offer a lifeline to some of the most precious and threatened places on Earth. They cover more than 12% of the world's land surface and are the cornerstone of international efforts to protect endangered species and conserve biodiversity. Yet committed conservation staff face many challenges: lack of training in business planning and other important organizational skills has the potential to impair conservation efforts. The Earth Skills Network brings together leaders from the business world with managers from IUCN protected areas and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These business mentors share knowledge and transfer business skills to their mentees, which help them take a more strategic approach to particular challenges.
If we are talking about sustainable development and sustainable utilization of resources in Africa, I think business planning is a must.
I think each protected area have to think business, have to think the sustainability of the funds of the business. We have to be more proactive, more creative.
Earthwatch trains the business mentors in preparation for them to support the protected areas. They would then spend 10 days with the protected area managers transferring their business skills. The mentors provide advice and support to their partner sites for at least 12 months. as they develop and implement business plans that enhance conservation efforts.
With the training of business skills, this actually adds more value to the management plan, and I needed to acquire those business skills since my background is ecology. I don't have any background in business.
By becoming part of the Earth Skills Network, companies can learn about the valuable natural capital within protected areas. They will strengthen dialogue with the conservation community, sharpen the professional competencies of their staff, and demonstrate the value of business thinking to the management of protected areas.
We found in Shell it's been a fantastic opportunity to really engage with the environment, to get our staff engaged with the environment, with a breadth of heritage sites and protected areas, and with a breadth of players from business, really means you can be part of something that will have a large impact on the ground.
If your company helps you to have a life-changing experience, how grateful will you be to your company? You will work with much more motivation, you'll be really keen on what your company is doing.
Earthwatch is seeking to build on the success of this program and include more partners to make this valuable training available to many more protected areas worldwide. To work together, share skills, and take action to address global environmental challenges.
Great. Well, hopefully that gave you a bit of an idea of the kind of experience people have through the program. And to build on that, I'd like to hand over now to Deric from Shell to talk a little bit about why they've invested so much in the program and the kind of value it's delivered for them.
There we go. Thanks, Ben. My name is Deric Quaile, and I am the Global Manager for environmentally sensitive areas in the Shell Group. I work out of London, but the role is a global role, so we touch sensitive areas all over the world, and we work on how we show up in these sensitive areas. Now, this is not just about how we operate in those areas, it's how our people understand what we do in those areas. So why am I talking about this? I'm talking about it because we need to have these things embedded in the organization. And where did this all start? Back in the World Parks Congress in Durban in 2003, where after that, or at that conference, and after that conference, we realized that there's something missing. What was that something? It was, and I think Ben's already alluded to, the ability, sorry, it wasn't Ben, it was in the opening address. It was the ability for protected area managers to not only talk about conservation, but to talk about business. And likewise, for business managers, not to talk about business, but to be able to talk about conservation. So we set about thinking how we could do this, and we came to the idea of start with helping transfer business skills into protected areas. And we actually have this embedded in our biodiversity standard in Shell. So it's not just about the protected areas itself, it's about building competencies of our people as well and competencies of other people. So in building this work, we actually, as Ben has alluded to, we put together a toolkit of these business skills, and you saw a slide there which has the different components, and we implemented through that process. And we select out of Shell some 6 mentors a year, who we combine with 3 mentees per protected area now, and run the training courses as has been described by Ben. But then you may say, what do we get out of this? And what do the mentees get out of it? Well, I'll leave the mentee side to Siyabonga to talk about. But in terms of what do we Shell get out of this, and of course, this doesn't come free, we actually get a tremendous boost to the employee value proposition. So yes, I am talking business language, but this is an employee value proposition, it's what the employee gets out of it. They learn a huge amount about how to transfer these skills. And the big skill there is interpersonnel skills. They get that. But you know what? They go into this process. They all come from the business lines, from finance, from human resources, from planning, and the like, and they know very little about environment and protected areas. And they pick up a huge amount from these mentees while they go through this training. And what do they do with that? They come back into the organization as ambassadors for environment and for sensitive areas in the organization. And we get a huge amount of mileage out of that. These guys come back and they actually infect the rest of the organization. It is actually incredibly powerful. So we get a better understanding of what we do in sensitive areas and why we do it, and better support from business decision makers. And many of these guys and women will be the decision makers of the future in the organization. So I'll leave it at that.
Thanks very much, Deric. I think that was a really clear description of the way that ESN can bring sort of very tangible business benefits. And to talk to the other side of the equation, so thinking about the impacts on the protected areas, I'm really delighted that Siyabonga is here today. Siyabonga and I were in South Africa last month on the residential training component. He is head of the Marine Protected Areas Programme for the Department of Environmental Affairs in South Africa, and so he's now working to transition the things that him and his team have learned throughout the residential programme back into his organisation, and he's going to share a few of his experiences with us. Thanks very much, Siyabonga.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben, and also to the program director. Colleagues, as Ben alluded to the fact that Department of Environmental Affairs in South Africa benefited from the Ed Skills network training. Firstly, my name is Siyabonga Dulisa from Department of Environmental Affairs, Branch Oceans and Coast. I'm based in Cape Town. I'm the head of Marine Protected Areas. I've benefited to this training since the 13th of October until the 22nd of October. We were sitting in the Limpopo province in Polokwane, attended the contact session with Ed Skills Network, expertise, and also the practitioners as well. The purpose of the training was to assist us as the protected areas managers to transfer the business skills training to the nature of work that we are doing as the protected areas. Most officials from South Africa that attended with us in that training, they were from the terrestrial part. On the marine component, we were 3. And those managers that benefited there, they are also the head of the marine protected areas. One was from Ezemvelo, was Natal Wildlife, and another one was the marine protected area manager in the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agents. The training assisted us in order for us to look things better in terms of the corporate world and also in terms of developing the business planning for our organization. Because now we have to take the corporate world to the protected areas and also take the protected areas to the corporate world. And the training came handy to us as the officials of Department of Environmental Affairs, precisely because in South Africa at this stage, we are in the process of declaring a 21 network of MPAs. And that 21 network of MPAs, each MPA, we need to develop the management plan of that MPA and also develop the business plan for that MPA. So the Ed Skills Network training came handy to us. And fortunately, our mentors are from the corporate world, that is from Shell. And they are going to mentor us for a period of 12 months. And fortunately on that, we've identified the programs and the projects as well that we will do individually as the head of marine protected areas, and also we've identified the project as well that we're going to do it as a group. And we will report on a weekly basis to the mentor of us so that the mentor can see the benefit that we've earned from the Earth Skills Network training and how we've managed to do things differently on our respective organization. So at this stage, we are under that process over a period of 12 months. And the one-to-one meeting that I've had with Deric from Shell is to say, what will be the possibility of Earth Watch and also Shell as well, out of 12 months, to identify the successful mentee to be one of the mentors as well, because the mentors that we have, as Deric alluded, they having a business thinking and also the corporate thinking as well. They don't have that understanding in terms of the protected areas. So the session of 12 months mentee and mentor will assist them as well so that they can take that protected areas knowledge and apply to the Shell. So we are in that process. Hopefully in the Sydney Promise, that will be one of the key outcomes that we'll come up with. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you very much, Siyabonga. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the mutual benefits that this programme can achieve, and also what a great builder of constructive dialogue this is between two sectors of society that obviously there's an element of mistrust and there's a potential for conflicts. Something that David mentioned in the beginning was the importance of monitoring and evaluation. How do we tell that these things are actually delivering on the value that we think they're delivering? So I thought I'd just mention that briefly in terms of monitoring and evaluation is something we're taking very seriously. We have a number of metrics in place, pre and post measures, 6 and 12-month report backs, feedback from coaching calls, and we've also conducted 2 independent reviews over the last 6 years. And we're very tight on time, but just to give you an indication of some of the top level findings from that evaluation work. So looking at the protected areas first, we're finding that actually the programme is effective in helping to build the understanding of the business planning process, and that people feel that once they've been through the process, they have an improved performance within their day job as they take those skills back to their organisation. Looking at the longer term, we're also getting indications of that site level impact, that organisational level impact. So people report that they are actually improving the management of the protected area as a result of the skills and the knowledge that they've gained during the training and during the ongoing mentoring process. How that actually looks on the ground is really interesting, and it's really diverse. In terms of some of the broader themes of where we're seeing the business planning applied, I'll perhaps just pick a few of them. Certainly financial management is a key area where we're seeing benefit in terms of more efficiently managing resources, and in terms of working with central government or management authority level to identify or improve the financial systems that help the site, the protected area organisation achieve their objectives. At one site we had a $25,000 per year saving identified as a result of this course. Another key tool that protected area organisations tend to grip onto is doing an in-depth stakeholder analysis, and this has revealed a number of different strands of project work, often relating to engaging with community groups or engaging with local businesses to develop ecotourism revenue. Also, a number of people working to identify the potential to make links with academic institutions that can improve monitoring within the park, as well as bring in revenue through researchers on the ground. I guess another theme that's worth mentioning is around marketing and communication. This course seems to be quite effective in helping protected area organisations to define their products and their audience, and to use some of the business skills available to help them tap into that as a potential revenue generator for their organisation. I think I'll probably just, I'll leave it there really, but I just want to end with a brief note of where we're going and where we want to take this programme. We're really passionate about it. We've got a lot of belief in it. We really think it can deliver value, and so we want to scale it up. We have a vision of a global network that's bringing together businesses and protected area organisations to really do some focused work on management effectiveness within these organisations. So to do that, we need to engage more businesses. So this is really a plea and a call to businesses to come and get involved, to invest in the program and to free up your staff, because not only will you be making a great contribution to protected areas, but also we've talked a little bit about the business benefits that can be derived as well. I also just want to put it out there that we have a real openness to share what we've learned over the past 6 years on this program, and a real interest in learning from other people that are trying to exploit the skills share model. And I'm really interested to hear more from the 2 case studies that are going to follow me, because I think there's a lot of different interesting ways in which the business protected area skills share approach can be used going forward. And linked to that is a commitment for us to continue to evolve and develop the program. And we're really excited to hear about David's work and the work of his team in terms of the process for professionalising protected area management, because that's really showing the breadth of competencies within protected area organisations that can be, that are very strong within the business world. And so that, to me, it reinforces the model a little bit, but it also gives us a challenge or an opportunity to sharpen the way in which we're working, to make sure that we're really hitting those competencies and working effectively to support the IUCN capacity development strategy. So I think I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for your attention, and there'll be time for questions afterwards. I'd also just like to say that the application process for next year's programme will be opening very shortly. So if you work for or are linked to a protected area where you think these skills are going to be of value, then do come and find us, and we'd love to talk to you about it in more detail. Thanks very much.